Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I really appreciate you checking it out. This is a review of the Vatrer 460 amp hour battery. I know that you saw one before, maybe on my channel. If you've been watching for a while, you saw another one. That's the one down here that I reviewed. This one is almost exactly the same, but it has a self-heating element in there. So if it gets below a certain temperature, it won't discharge, it won't charge things up, or it won't take a charge. So this will cut on at a certain temperature, and I'll talk about that later. Uh, I'm going to run it in parallel. I'm not going to show you every detail of me running in parallel. I'll put a picture up of the screen in a little bit of how to run it in parallel and how not to. It's up to you, whatever way you want to do it, but the recommended way that I will let you know is the proper way, okay? That can lead to issues if you hook these up wrong in parallel. I just got back from the store to get me a cable. This is I think it's one AUG cable. They do recommend at least a 4 AUG, so I am a few AUGs higher, so that is a good thing. You don't want to go with too big of a wire, or you could lose a little bit of power. But these right here, these are a beast. These are almost 6,000 watts a piece, 5,888, I believe. And they're 460 amp hours, but I've been charging them up, and on my app it shows when they're fully charged they get up to like 480 amp hours, so they're even more than what they even show on the battery case. I normally don't get another item of something I reviewed before, but this does have self-heating. I have to turn this off in the app because you're running in parallel. You want the same brand, same exact battery. So to keep this self-heating on while you have it parallel, it would potentially mess up the batteries in time. So I'm gonna, before I hook them up, I'm gonna shut that function off of this one. In dire needs, if I'm in the freezing cold, I have to unhook them both and just run this one with self-heating if I needed just a battery to self-heat. So I still do have the comfort of knowing that I have that. So let's get to it and start this video off, guys. I appreciate you. Please hit the like button if you like these videos. If you got any comments about this battery that maybe I can answer, please comment in the comment section below. Okay, before we get to the battery up here, I'm going to let you guys know about all the wiring. On a typical battery, when you're running things, you're running positive, running to negative. So I have everything positive on this battery hooked up right here, have everything negative on here. What you want to do on these batteries is, if it's running in parallel, you don't want to run a positive wire to here, and then a negative here to here, and then run all your wires the same, just have them going out one battery, because in all sense, it's draining this battery first and then going to the other battery. It will kind of work almost the same, but when you're charging up too, it will actually can overcharge the first battery and not give the other battery a charge enough. So you want to run both the positive to positive, negative to negative, and then all the positive I'm going to keep on this one. You know what? I'm going to do all the negative, I'm going to keep on that one because it's all the way in the back. All the positives I might put all the way up here. So all the positive connections here, all the negative connections on this one on that side, and then you're running the positive, positive, negative, negative. So hopefully that makes sense. But before you do all that, you want to unhook all this is the solar panels right here. This is the charging. This is not hooked up. It's AC. So it's AC. So when I hook the power up to the whole unit to charge this up, the charger kicks in. So this doesn't have any juice to it. This one just has residual from the solar panels right here. So that's it. Okay, let's get that wired up and I'll talk to you about these batteries. Hey, before I get into prices or anything, and before I get this all tore down, I did take these slats off of here so I can get better to the post. So that'd be a lot easier for me. But I do want to let you guys know that I'm putting this out soon as possible because Father's Day is coming up in a few days. And maybe some people to worry about the prices of all these. This self-heating one is only $70 more than the other. So if that makes a difference from you buying the self-heating or not, or if you need a bigger voltage battery, or if you need a less amp hour battery, they have different price ranges. But right now for Father's Day, they're having an extravaganza, 59 up to 59% off on some of the batteries. So please check their site out as well. Hey, while I'm tearing this down, I do want to go over some different technical deals before I forget about them. So as I'm unscrewing the tops of these right here can be turned in this direction. So if you want the wire to come up this way, that way, you can turn these. But when I did the when I'm doing the parallel, you want to make them sure both, you don't want to do 50%, 50%, 20%, 20%, but you want to 100% charge each of them up. So that is the major deal when charging these. You want to make sure they have charge them individually, then put them on here, and then when you charge them up, they're equal. But I'm going with a copper wire. These wires can conduct electricity a lot better than other wires. So copper wire, and this is a 0 gauge. This goes up to my inverter, but I'm running the 1 gauge from battery to battery. You can go to 0 gauge if you like, but like he said, the 4 gauge is sufficient, but I just don't want to go with the bare minimum, so I do up it a little bit. And I'm using a 13mm socket. You can use a wrench if you like. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. And do not stand in a bucket of water. That is highly not recommended. So if people ask you to do that, please don't. These have a nylon thread in there, like a Loctite, so it does actually stay there and doesn't loosen up with rattles and stuff at driving and come loose. It's very, very minimal circumstances that would happen because they do use these. So I'm glad they went the extra step. And just let you know, each battery has an on-off button. So you want to hit that on button, but it has a Bluetooth feature. So you can go to the app, turn this self-heating off, and I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, we got everything hooked up. Just showing you the top part of the positive. I got all the positives hooked up here. I just got the one parallel cord going down to the negative, but the negative has all the negative leads on that. The positive has just one positive. So we got lights on down here showing the solar controller working. I do have to hook up the Cummins. I got a Cummins 5,000 watt inverter. So I'm going to hook up these. They call these forklift connectors, I believe. But I'm going to hook those up. And then I do have a light, a test light right here on that outlet. So that light, in theory, should power up once I power my inverter up and flip the switch right here. So let's check it out. We'll do this in real time, just in case something happens and you have something to tell the fire department if anything happens to me. Okay, cross your thumbs. Okay. Okay, let's not do it like that. Let's do it like this. Okay, in theory, they should be connected. They're both powered on. I'll look in the app before I turn the main power on, but you don't want to put a real big load on this at first. You want to you want to let them equal out for a while. So I'm gonna let them equal out just for about 30 minutes to an hour. But for you, it'd be 3 or 4 seconds after I finish this part of the video here, because I'm just gonna let it sit and so it looks like 99%. It's still showing 477 on the app. I'm not sure when you're running a parallel if there's something that can measure both of them. So, but it's showing, see, it says 460 amps. It's actually a 460 amp hour battery, but it's showing 477. So it gets up to about 480, 481 amp hours. So it does do more than what they're saying. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I can't honestly tell you. I got to figure that part out. So I'll check the other battery. Other battery shows 473 amp hours at 100%. The other one shows 10.7 negative and this one 10.7 positive. So I think they're still trying to equal out with 100% and 99%. So maybe I'll have to deal with that first and see, because it should be reading around what, 460, 920, maybe 920 amp hours in theory, or more. So, okay. Well, while we wait for that, I'll go ahead and talk about this unit for a little bit. Okay. While we wait for that to equal out a little bit, it's getting pretty hot out here. I think today in Boise it's going to be 90 degrees. But I did write a lot of stuff down. This does weigh 104.7 pounds. It is pretty heavy, but you're not going to be lifting this back and forth just like a portable deal. It's going to probably be one place and set it and forget it.
Set it.
But I really liked the other one so much. I was thrilled that they got with me again to let me do the self-heating. This is a brand new one on the market, so I'm really thankful for them to allow me to do this, because this is the main battery. Like, that was the main battery for this whole unit. Now I have two of them in parallel for the main battery. One battery without the inverter is like, I want to say 48 hours controlling my 120 watt computer, like continuous 120 watt. Usually it goes down to 20 to 40 when it's already fully charged, and kind of bumps to 120 here and there. So I'll just say if it's 120 watts all the time continuous, it can power 48 hours. But in theory, you have to change the AC to DC. So you do have to take in consideration the inverter. My inverter is probably 40 watts per hour. So now that 48 hours, it'll power my computer with the inverter running to convert it to DC, from DC to AC. It will about 44 hours. So 44 hours with one. So now I have 88 hours. But if I want to work in the middle of the nowhere on my computer and edit videos, I can edit videos for 88 full hours without any interruption. So that is a big plus for me. The cable that you want to run the cables the same length, the negative and positive. They're 3 foot here, you want 3 foot on each. You want to get the cable as short as possible from battery to battery, but you still want them equal. So the shortest distance of one is 3 foot, and the other one might have been 1.5 feet on the parallel. You still want to do 3 foot, 3 foot. And again, please at least use a 4 AUG wire for this. I recommend 2, but I go with a 1. But if you go with 1, I think you would appreciate it more, so you don't have to worry about it in the future of anything. If you're running like an AC, 14,000 BTU AC continuous, the wires are going to heat up just a little bit, but with a bigger AUG wire, I think you can handle the juice. I will put the video link of the review I did with this one with everything hooked up to it. The first video that I've made with Vatrer, I will put that video in the links below, as well as their links to their website and if they have promotional code and such like that. But I know Father's Day, I'm not sure how long after Father's Day or if it ends Father's Day. Well, the day after Father's Day, I don't know if it ends, but they're having up to 59% site-wide on certain things. So we will definitely reap the rewards if you can get on in on that deal. I already talked about, you want to make sure this charges completely, 100%, 100%, and then hook them together. You don't want 120 at 20% and the other one at 80% and try to do a complete charge on it. One might overcharge than the other one, and it could be bad. So please, please, please have them at the same charge. If you're using the BMS battery maintenance system, you may not need to do this. So I did write this down because these do have a 300 amp BMS. A lot of them only have 100. Some started doing 200, but these has 300 amp BMS, battery maintenance system. So if these are unequal, theoretically, it won't harm the battery because it'll manage it itself. But I still would recommend the even charge. But if you don't, you forget, then it won't be as big of a problem, okay? Yeah, mismatched batteries can lead to uneven charges, so that's why they want you to go with the same type of battery so they can talk to each other and they know, hey, I know you. They probably don't say that, but they think that. Unlike regular batteries, you can discharge these down to about 0%. I ain't gonna say 100%, like 100% that it's not gonna hurt the battery, but 99% that these can actually go down to 0. And regular batteries, you don't want to go under 20% or you actually damage the cells in the battery. With lithium iron phosphate batteries, you won't have a problem with that. Hardly ever. I'm saying there's always a 1% of something happening, but that's what they're made for. They're made to withstand a lot of stuff. And even though this is 105-ish pounds, 104.7, so 105 pounds, this is 30% lighter than a lead acid battery to go with the same power. So it is lighter, even though it's 105 pounds, it's lighter than something this beefy with a lead acid, this powerful. So this was only $70 more than this one right here, like I said before. If you're staying in a colder environment, the $70 is pretty much well worth it if you're going below certain temperatures. This will kick on, I think, at 32 degrees and maybe kick off at 41 degrees. But all batteries, if it gets so cold, they're not going to charge at a certain time. And then a little bit colder than that, of when it stops receiving to charge it up, like solar panels and such, a little bit past that, it won't charge items. So it'll still charge items. If it can't hold a charge at a certain temperature, it'll still dissipate a charge. But a little bit after that, then it'll stop charging units up too. So won't be able to use it, except if you get this one, it'll automatically do it. I think it might be 100 watts though, once it kicks on, but the 100 watts with it warming up and still can use it and collect charges, that's a lot better, especially in upper north, like near, I guess, the Canadian folks when they're making that Canadian bacon or hunting for Sasquatch. This one here is 18.7 inches long. This is 10.7 inches wide and 9.92 inches high. So if you're looking for something in a more confined space, this is going to be too big for that. But they do make other batteries that are smaller than this. But this right here has the hinged handles up top, and they're spring loaded. They go straight back down, but they are really built tough. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 screws on each one, and they're real good metal. So they built this really good. I noticed that on the first time when I saw it. The first thing I saw was that it was really built really nice. It wasn't just a cheap plastic type battery. It has a lot of metal up top and real durable stuff. Hits it on top, it'll just bounce off and it won't puncture the battery as easy. You can hook up to 4 in series of this, so you can hook up 4 of these, so there'll be 51.2 watts. I mean, you can hook up to 4 of these in series. If you do in series, it adds the voltage and it keeps the amperage the same. So if you a golf cart like 48 volts, they'll have 4 of these. It'll run, I think it tops out at 51.2 volts, and it'll still be 460 amps. If you're running these in parallel, I think you can run these up to 10 of them in parallel. So that would be 4,600 amp hours and still at 12.8 volts. But if you got 4 of these, the 4 would run at 12.8 volts at 1,840 amp hours. So it just depends how you run it. It depends what needs you need. If you got a forklift, you want to run it in series to have the bigger voltage. If you're running stuff like that I'm doing, you want the same voltage, the 12 volts, 12.8 volts, and have more amp hours. So hopefully I answered most of your questions. This also has a 10-year lifespan. The warranty, I believe, might be up to that long, but that is a lot of cycles. I want to say 5,000 cycles this goes as, and I think 10 years is like, what, 3,600 cycles, like 1 per day. So you can actually charge this up a couple times a day in this lifespan. And I only charge these up like maybe once a week, so 52 times a year. So that's a lot. That's a lot of usage for these batteries. So I know some of it might be pricey for some of you guys, but like me, I'm a cheap person. I do realize that quality means a lot more than quantity, and that's what she said. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're just wanting a lot of stuff that's not worth a lot, it's just cheap and it does the job, and it conks out on you, then you're in a world of hurt, because a lot of places I go to, buckle up, buckle up. There's not a Walmart or a McDonald's. I'm not sure why I threw McDonald's in there, but a Walmart, McDonald's for like 3 hours, 3 hours away at least. So it's best to be comfortable, get to sleep at night, because you know you got a durable battery that's going to last you forever. No, not forever, but for a long time. Okay, folks. But thank you again, Vatrer, for letting me do this, and thank you guys for watching this video. Please check out their site, see if you like something from there. If you got a father, brother, uncle, anything for Father's Day, get some kind of gift for them. They got trolling motor type batteries, like 100 amp hour batteries, I believe. So they get different uses, a lot of different uses for them. So again, got to go, but appreciate it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait before we jump off here. I got to turn this beast on now. So here we go. This is the shore power, or the power for the battery. So turn the battery on. Inverter. Sounds like it's working. There we go. We got a red light. And guess what we got? We got a light. Okay, well, we're in business, folks. Okay, now we can get off of here. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.